So this guy right here is the older style when Dunlop was making VOX's wahs. So I'm guessing this one's probably a late 90s one because it doesn't have the N30 inductor in it. But really good sounding wah, as is. Just to show you, this is a modern 847 like you would get over at the Center for Guitars. So you'll notice on the newer 847, the ones that someone in China makes for them, you got some funky inductor, and it looks like it's all normal style components, but you flip this over and it's a bunch of surface mount components. So kind of a D-, considering this is supposed to be a vintage style wah. I know the 845 is the one they call vintage. The only difference between these exact two boards is on the 845 they took off the input buffer. So this one's more like a GCB 95 if you use surface mount components for the resistors. So I give them a D- on that. I'll be gutting the board on this one and rebuilding it from scratch, like some of my other wahs you've seen me do this week. So this one, made in America by Dunlop Corporation, is much nicer. Just to show you, this one's more like what the Clyde McCoy would have been like. Right off the bat, it says made in USA, so that's how you know it's a good one. So if you're buying used wahs, one that's got the UPC on there, it's all loser, so it doesn't say made in USA on it, that's how you know, without even taking the back off, that that's the, hey, this is not the one I want to buy. So the one that Dunlop made for them when VOX at some point stopped making wahs, much nicer, again, because they were contracting it, so they probably made sure they were making them nicer for them. You'll notice on the inside, oh, real resistors, real film caps, much nicer, an actual good style inductor. This is more like what you'd see in the modern GCB 95s and stuff like that. So at this point, if you're going to Guitar Center and you're buying a wah and you don't know much about them, I would say buy a stock GCB 95 versus the stock 847 or 845 at this point, because they're building them kind of crappy. For the same $100, you might as well get the better parts, and these are much easier to mod. Even if you're not a very good DIYer with soldering, you might as well get something that's got this kind of board in it. So the older style VOX wah, you can tell it's nicer. It's got Switchcraft 11 style jacks. You can tell it's got the Dunlop Clariostat Alan Bradley style big, nice hot pot. These things last for ages. You'll still see Thomas Organ wahs from the 70s rocking the same pot without ever having to be replaced. Built to freaking last. Carling jacks, and everything about the freaking wah is much nicer. The only thing that sucked is they didn't put a power in jack, so I went ahead and added a filter, and that's the only mod I did to this one without changing too much. I just went ahead and added a power jack. It sounds good as is for that vintage Jimmy style tone. Let me stop talking and go ahead and hook the thing up and show you what she does. Go ahead and toss the back on. I don't want to pick up some sort of Jesus radio while we're playing. So again, if you're picking up used wahs or stuff like that, this one will be for sale in my reverb shop. It's a cool little wah. It's in really good condition. I mean, the shell on the outside, again, the wah is probably like 20 years old. It's got a little bit of aging. You can see a little bit of the California hood, seawater rusted, but it's just a hair on it. It's got the straight up what we would call the modern relic vintage look. I dusted it off with some fancy pledge to get it shiny again. Hooked it up. Got a fuzz here. It's one of the first pedals I ever built. This, the purple one. So it's kind of a modified fuzz kind of circuit. So hook up the phone here, glue that puppy down. Let's demo some wahage. Oh, sit still, phone. Sit still. Stay. Okay, cool. So got the strat here. It's got the humbucker in the bridge, so it's the only difference between your regular old Mexico Strat. This one's the fat Strat. I got it just because I like the color. So that's how you buy things. It's not about tone, it's all about the color. So let's turn the amp to clean. So this is like a classic Bassman Tweed type amp. So here's some wahage. So it's really cool. It's straight up got that Voodoo Child type tone. Some fuzz on that. whole Bob freaking classic wah sound. Again, I'm a bass player, so my guitar playing skills are just pure shit. Every time I pick it up, it's a disgrace. But I like to build effects so I can mask that. So it's really cool. It got the, it's not a halo inductor, but it's definitely more of the vintage style. I didn't measure this one, but I'd have to say it's right around the 500, a little bit above it, because it's got a tad of throatiness to it. So like the whole. So it's kind of got the wicky wet sound, a little less throaty on the back end, but definitely better than a red phasal or yellow phasal, crappier modern inductor. I should note this is not an iCar style pot, so it's not like rock your foot real close. This one's full on heel toe, get old school. So. I like this style better myself for this whole swells, like a little easier to achieve that standard transition. With some fuzz again. So again, this is more like a McCoy style circuit. It's true bypass. And you can always tell because when you turn off the wah and you unplug it, the wah doesn't die. So this is, if you're not looking for the tone suck, this is the cooler old style Vox. So again, if you're shopping for a used pedal or something like that, and this one's already sold and you're like, damn it, my life is ruined, just look for Made in the USA on the bottom. Sometimes you luck out and you get the really good one. Let me see, where's it at? If you really are able to pop the bottoms off them when you're buying a used wah, same with GCB 95s, like this old guy right here, try and find the ones that have this inductor. They sound a lot better. Dunlop used to ghost build a whole bunch of companies' wahs, and Buddha was one of those companies, along with the famous Vox. But this inductor right here, where are we at, phone? Right there. Right there, this guy, it says like N30 on it over and over and over. This inductor is rad. It sounds really good. It's like boutique style. It was something that Dunlop sourced for particularly to make the Buddha wahs to their specs, so they used it on some of their wahs. This is actually an older GCB style wah. Some of these Vox wahs have them too. If you can find the earlier 90s ones, again, if you're buying a used pedal and you can, pop the bottom off the thing and look at the guts. It's like buying a car, you want to pop the hood, you know, or you're checking out the ladies, pop the hood. But anyways, that inductor in particular is a little bit better. I think it has one of the nice warmer sounds. You hear that word used on everything, but in my opinion, it actually does kind of have a little warmer sound, a little fattier, less throaty. It's a little more spot-on McCoy type tone. This one will be for sale in my reverb shop. I did not mod it. If you want me to mod it, I can put a tone rotary on it or all sorts of other crap. I won't charge a lot. I try and make stuff affordable, especially because I didn't build this wah. I just acquired it for my collection of things I don't need. So anyways, the only thing I did is I added a power jack because God does it suck having to run off batteries. You can buy a power supply off eBay for $3 for less money than a pack of Duracell, so I always recommend doing that. I added power filtering too, so it doesn't buzz or get all wonky like some people who just stick the power jack on. They don't know what they're doing. But anyways, so cool wah. It'll be over in the reverb shop along with a whole bunch of other ones I'm modding, like this cat right here. So there's a tone rotary. So anyways, rock on.